far right is on course to claim its first major election victory in Germany since the Second World War. Michelle Rimmer is across the story from our London bureau. Michelle, good morning. So we're still waiting on the official results, but what do we know so far from early projections?
So the Alternative for Germany party is expected to make historic gains in these two state elections in Germany. Voters went to the polls on what was their Sunday, and we're still awaiting the official results. They'll come through in the next few hours. However, we're going off exit polls at the moment, and multiple that were published in German media predict that the far-right party is set to win the state election in Thuringia by around 30% of the vote. It's expected to receive 30% of the vote. It's also projected to come a very close second by a very slim margin in the neighbouring state of Saxony. The Conservative Christian Democratic Union Party is expected to win there, but we're talking a number of percentage points, so that could really go either way. And we're waiting to see whether this could be potentially two wins for the far-right party in Germany. Now, even if these projected results do prove to be true, it's unlikely that the Alternative for Germany party will receive the majority of votes that it needs to form a government outright in either of the states, and opposing parties have ruled out forming a coalition with the far-right, so it's unlikely that it will find itself in government. However, this is not an insignificant outcome that we're projected to see here. The states take care of issues like education and transport and different budgets. So having a functioning parliament is really quite important for the people that are living there. And if the far right, a party that doesn't appear to have any real links with other parties or any proven ability to work together with other parties, if they do hold a third of the seats in parliament, then that could be a headache for whichever parties do end up forming a coalition.
Now, is rising support, Michelle, for the far right in Germany something we can expect to see again as the country heads toward a national election next year?
That's a question that German Chancellor Olaf Scholz is quite likely asking himself right now. All three of the parties in his ruling centrist coalition appear to have lost votes in these elections. That's according to the exit polls and the projections that we're seeing right now. So this is really potentially going to cause a rethink for the entire centre of German politics to look at what the issues are that are drawing voters in these elections and perhaps what they need to address as they prepare to go to their own national election in September of next year. Now, the key election issues leading up to these two state elections this weekend were immigration and also funding for Ukraine. The far-right party, the Alternative for Germany, they were putting forward staunch limits on immigration and also a pullback on support for Ukraine. So we may start to see some of the mainstream major parties in Germany start to look at those issues differently and potentially make some alterations. Rhetoric and political discussion around immigration particularly ramped up in Germany a couple of weeks ago when police allege a Syrian asylum seeker killed 3 people at a German festival in a stabbing attack. That really led to some increased rhetoric and discussion leading up to these elections. The German centrist party, the current government, also brought in a new legislation since that attack took place, saying that they will deport any criminal Afghans that have claimed asylum or refugees in Germany, that they'll be deported back to Afghanistan. That was a policy that they were not implementing up until just a few weeks ago. But it appears that even that change wasn't able to draw back some of the voters that are attracted to the Alternative for Germany's staunch nationalistic approach to immigration. So these are issues that we're expecting to keep bubbling over in Germany again as they prepare to go to a federal election next year.